Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, Republicans have repeatedly said that they will not negotiate reforms to the health care law credits until the government reopens. I will tell you right now that all my colleagues on this side of the aisle definitely want to open government, and we want to do it as soon as possible. We are also willing to respect Leader Thune's desire to negotiate after the shutdown. So Democrats are offering today a very simple, straightforward compromise. And if Republicans accept this, we could open the government today. Wouldn't that be fabulous? Show that we can come together with a common sense, bipartisan compromise and open government. All we have to do is have a one-year extension of a clean bill that's law now, it's expired. It's just an extension of an existing law dealing with tax credits. And over the next year, we can figure out a long-term solution to the healthcare challenge that we're facing as a country. This proposal opens the government and ensures that families who are shopping right now for their health care can get immediate financial relief at a time when costs are driving families to make incredibly difficult financial decisions. And we believe that while we're trying to figure out a long-term solution to the healthcare crisis, people should not be penalized. People should not be suffering. Give the relief that they need now, and over the next year, we'll work together to find a more comprehensive solution. We know that right now our nation is experiencing a healthcare crisis where costs are skyrocketing and too many Americans are risking losing their coverage. Too many Americans are struggling to choose between food or gas or healthcare. And it's not just Americans in blue states, let's be clear. Families in every state across the country are paying these prices. Every one of us have families that are experiencing this now in our states. But we can take action today to give our constituents some immediate financial relief and prevent them from being priced out of the insurance market. We all want to end the shutdown. We want to ensure that government services can continue, and we want to ensure our hardworking federal employees get the pay that they have earned. But Democrats have made clear since day one that in order to get the votes that Republicans need, we must address the healthcare crisis. Because the American people have made it clear they want Congress to take action on this issue, it's literally life or death for far too many American families. I know many of my Republican colleagues want to work on this issue too. I've had conversations with so many of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle who want to try to figure out how we fix this. But they've said repeatedly we won't negotiate until government reopens. Leader Thune has said, quote, "Give us the votes to open up the government. Then we will have a conversation about some of these issues that you want to discuss." And I think healthcare is certainly something we are anxious to all talk about, end of quote. And perhaps most importantly, even President Trump has said he'd be happy to work with Democrats on healthcare policies, but only once the government is reopened. Well, I agree with my Republican colleagues. It's not realistic to reform a major healthcare policy in just a few days. That's not going to happen. And I respect Leader Thune and President Trump's desire to work on this when the government is reopened. And I'm willing to compromise on that. My colleagues are willing to compromise this, and it's something that can be done today if we need to. But our Republican colleagues have to be willing to compromise too. Compromise is a two-way street. And they have shown us that and we want them to show us that these are not just empty words, that they really are willing to compromise, and they do want to take action. So that's why we've put forward this very simple proposal. Extend the tax credits for 1 year. We are not asking to make any major changes to the current law. Just extend that to protect people who are suffering right now and are hurting. We're just asking to keep the credits in place for 1 year so that families can see some immediate financial relief from the costs that are going through the roof, so that they can make important decisions about buying their health care right now during open enrollment. This is live. People are dealing with this situation as we speak. We can fix this. If we care about making sure families can afford their health care, we should all agree on that. We should get 100 votes here for people to say we're going to do everything we can to protect health care for Americans. And we can do that right now. And we can open up government right now. We can pay employees. We can move this country forward if we do that. All we need is a very simple extension of a law that's already existed for some time. We know that from the start that any deal will ultimately have to be a compromise. It doesn't have to be unanimous. There'll be likely folks on both sides that may feel uncomfortable with this, and I get that, and that's the way this place works. But our proposal would try to work in a bipartisan way by creating a bipartisan committee that will continue negotiations on reforms ahead of next year's enrollment process. So we're not pulling the rug out from underneath families. We're going to do it ahead of time so folks know exactly what to expect going forward. So I'm telling you now, Madam President, if we vote for this compromise today, we could open up government. This could all be behind us. Families could get some certainty for their future for the next year while we look at long-term solutions. The government can open, but it takes all of us just to say, we're willing to compromise for the good of the country. My colleagues are standing here saying we are willing to compromise for the good of the country. I just hope my Republican colleagues agree.